Hello, people. How you doing today? I am with my partner and good friend James Proctor. Proctor. I'm sorry. I'm even saying Proctor wrong now. Okay, so what I like to, I'm going to talk. I'm going to be bitching about some things today. I hope people listen to me and don't say, "Oh, he's bitching again." But I really have to bitch about some things that really bothering me.
Okay.
James, do you know anything I'm going to talk to you about?
Nope, not
None.
at all.
So this is how I like James. I like him to come in, and then I'm going to vent a little bit. But uh, first, we're going to start with this. Okay. Okay, Adrian. I'm going to talk about two content makers. I'm not going to name their shows. Uh, one is Matt, and one is Adrian. You guys have shows. Matt Cox, I'm going to talk about you because your name's out there. And I'm not in a bad way. I'm just going to give you my opinion about a couple things. I personally don't care. You got a good show. God bless you. Adrian, you got a good show. But Adrian, stop bringing on people without checking up on them. You had some guy on today that was telling you that he was a made member of the Denver Mafia.
Hmm.
So here's the problem, James. These guys now they can write these books. Everything you can write your own book. You can self-publish your book now, and you can write whatever you want in that book because nobody's going to check it. And you can
Mhm.
say that you were the greatest thing in the world. You killed all these people. You were a mafia guy. You were made in Denver. It gets worse and worse every day, James, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that, we're in a society now, it's good that people can you can get books out, but the problem is that, we don't have editors anymore. We don't have people that actually check and validate and verify information. The thing, like, for example, the St. Francis book, it was what I found credible about it is all the sources. You look at the end notes, you see everyone that was interviewed, and then you can actually go to where where the source was, and so that's what's missing. And so unfortunately there's a lot of people that want to get on YouTube and make
And lie.
whatever name, yeah, lie and make a
They
name
just
of
they
themselves.
there's so many of them. And here's what the first thing we're going to talk about: Joey Merlino, Matt Cox, and some stuff going on there
Okay.
because it's totally ridiculous what's going on here. Because what's happening is you have the informants. They all getting together, every damn one of them, and they're all working with each other. They're going on each other's shows. They're putting out there whatever they want to put out. And there's no tough questions asked of them at all. Um, but we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
First, I'm going to play this. This is new. You probably didn't see this yet. I put this up a little while. How many people were around John Gotti? You keep seeing these new guys pop up on YouTube. The latest one is Larry Lawton. Now, he's been around. The guy was in prison, there's no doubt. He did his time. He didn't rat, but now he's saying that John Gotti threw his coffee at somebody because it only had coffee beans instead of three. Oh my goodness, people. Why do you put this stuff up once these people say this? Do you realize if all these people knew John Gotti, that would mean that John Gotti walked around with like 1,000 people around him? John Gotti had a certain group of guys. No one ever got past that group of guys. His circle, he had about 10 guys in his circle at most, all loyal friends from his childhood. Well, most of them were. He didn't even let Sammy hit. Look what happened when he let Sammy in his circle. But another guy, all these guys are so full of shit. They all knew John Gotti. It's hilarious. Okay, I'm talking about this guy Lawton. He was. I don't know if you know anything about him,
Yeah, I do.
but now he's on and he's saying that he knew John Gotti. He spent most of his time in Florida, and he got arrested. But one thing I'll say about Mr. Lawton is that he took his time. He could have ratted out some people in his crew, and like a man, he took his time. So I'm not going to really insult Mr. Lawton because for that. What I'm going to say is another guy. This is another guy. Adrian has that guy that's with him all the time. Polisi. They say whatever they want and they go unchecked. Now, Lawton, I said to Angel, would you ever know your father to be in a coffee shop eating with a group of guys and throw a coffee across the room or something like that? She said, absolutely not. That her father would never act like that. There was never no evidence that John Gotti threw food in a restaurant or coffee across the floor, because they had this thing where the Italians, you need 3 beans in your coffee for good luck. So this guy said that they only put 2 beans in, and John Gotti got mad and just threw the cup across. They were sitting down with a bunch of guys eating. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? I can't hear you.
It's just
Okay, I'm sorry. That sounds ridiculous, right?
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Okay, so, and these guys go, "Oh, really?" It's like this guy here that's talking to him. He just wants to hear what he wants to hear, and these are the most ridiculous things. James, we know that John Gotti had a tight circle around him. We know that he let nobody inside that circle. If you wanted to get to John Gotti, you had to get past the Corniglias. You had to get past the group of guys around him. Killers.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I guess that, again, it brings views, it brings people to your show if you talk about John Gotti.
Well, yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys, you're full of crap. If you got a problem with me, Mr. Lawton, if you want to come on this show, you're welcome anytime, and we'll talk about it. But I'm going to ask you some tough questions, Mr. Lawton, not like these softball questions you get. So I'm inviting you on this show. You're welcome anytime. Just let me know. You can write me at LeeCole1010 Gmail. That's my challenge to you, and we'll get those. And you can tell me why you know John Gotti. A matter of fact, what you could do when you come on and tell me you know John Gotti, I'll bring Angel Gotti on with me, and you could tell me what you know about John Gotti. How's that? That's her father, so you can see if you guys get along with the statements. Does that sound fair, James?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, and like you said, if he wants to say his piece and let him come on, and Angel, I think that'd be a good show.
It would be, yes. And Mr. Polisi, I would invite you on, but we have a new policy here. You did put a lot of people in prison, so well, it's not even a new policy. We haven't had anybody on like that since I think Luisi was the last one. But anyway, okay, now we're going to get on to Joey Merlino. Now, Joey Merlino, I'm going to tell you one thing about Joey Merlino. You can like him, you can not like him. But Joey Merlino did 10 years in prison. I'm going to show you what Joey Merlino, I just want to show you something. Let me pull this up. There's a couple things here. I'll play this first.
Okay.
I don't even know who he is. He said he was in Coleman with me.
Some
fucking
Mathew Cox.
Yeah, fucking
Another guy that just
I
wants
wouldn't
to talk
talk to that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what he used to do? The kid, I spoke to a kid. I don't even know him. I said, was he with us? He looks like a. They got this other jerk. I don't even know who he is. He said he was in Coleman with me. Some fucking
Mathew Cox.
Yeah, fucking
Another guy that just
I
wants
wouldn't
to talk
talk to that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what he used to do? The kid, I spoke to a kid. I don't even know him. I said, was he with us? He looks like a fucking girl. There. You know what he used to do? He used to tell everybody he was a big movie director, and he would ask for your paperwork, like, I'm gonna make a movie when you get out, and get all your shit, and then call the prosecutor up and fucking and set you up and tell on you.
That's amazing. I got to give him a shot because he called me fat again, and I don't even know these people. They're just so jealous.
Listen, I was in jail with him. I don't know him. He said he sat and ate lunch. That motherfucker could never sit at our table ever in life.
Never.
The way he looked, I wouldn't even say hello to him.
Never. They think they're heroes that they ratted and they did this and did that. Nobody cares about your story. It's great. Whatever you're doing on YouTube, we don't care. Yeah. Stop bringing you up for the views, but
they got this other jerk.
Okay. So what do you think when you hear that? So he's basically calling Matt Cox out because Matt Cox, he's never been in this genre. And we even had him on. And we got very few views out of all the guests we ever had on. We got the fewest views with Matt Cox. Right. He didn't turn anybody on over here. But then he's doing this stuff by having Gene Barillo and these other people on attacking, saying horrible things about personal family members of
Joey.
I'm sorry, Joey. What do you think when you hear him say it like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why, Matt is, we had him on, and he has a story, obviously, and he was on American Greed, all that, but yeah, I'm not sure why he's kind of. I guess he does all types of true crime, but not sure why he's going into the mob genre. It's definitely a different genre, and so when you start saying stuff or allowing guests to come on and say that, especially someone like Joey, he's going to respond.
And it's like that when you're and Matt admits that he's a rat.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a rat, why are you going after this man? I don't understand it. He did his time in prison. Don't you guys get it? You
Yeah.
guys chose not to do your time in prison.
Right.
Why does it seem like when these guys are rats, and that's what they are, they put men away, they put people in prison. A matter of fact, Matt Cox wasn't even looking at a lot of time. He was looking at not even 10 years. And when I say not a lot of time, if you're going to commit the amount of crimes that Matt Cox committed, millions and millions of dollars in fraud, heck, you had your own show. But when it got tough, you ratted people out, including a woman that was involved with you in that scam. They basically ratted each other out.
Right.
I don't understand where they think they have the right to go after him.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what happened. So I guess he had guests. So he had Gene Barello on, right? And so he was going along with that, I guess, with him.
And listen, if he wants to bring Gene Barello on, that's his business. But then Gene starts talking about the why. You see, Gene's going to get vicious with you when you put Gene on. You're going to get the worst Gene there is possible.
Right.
Gene will say things that it's off the charts, and he's going to say things that are vile, and he did that. And Matt, I don't understand why he wants to get involved with that, but I got a funny feeling, Matt, it's not going to be good for you if you go after Joey. It's just not going to be. What do you think?
Yeah, and he has no, he's got the right to defend himself. I mean, obviously, and so I just don't, I don't understand it, and and the thing is, when we bring on guests, we always we research what they're going to. We research. We know who they are before they come on, and so you can't use that as an excuse because if you're going to bring Gene on, you need to know who your guest is, and he's going to say this type of stuff.
And I like to say something. I'm using 2 shorts from Joey's channel. I will put Joey's channel underneath this show. I will also put his Patreon underneath this show. Please go. He did his first show on Patreon, and I didn't see it yet, but Angel said it was fantastic. So I'm saying that from what I understand, the first show was fantastic. So it's worth signing up for. Okay, so we're going to move on to this now. And these are very interesting shorts they're making, by the way. Okay, here we go.
Platform they want to talk about. They murdered 3 people, 12 people, 16 people, stabbed, shot, baseball bat. You gave out turkeys. You got thrown off.
Listen, Sammy the book, fucking killed 17, 18. He killed a 16-year-old kid, you don't talk about that. I'm going to get into that. He killed 18 people. He got 5 years. You get more for drunk driving. He got 5 years for 19 murders. I went to jail. I came home. I gave back to the community. He did not. He did good work. He got 5 years. He came home. What do you think he did? He gave the community. He sold ecstasy to kids.
Yeah, college kids, right?
Sold ecstasy to fucking kids.
Yeah.
We come home, we give fucking gifts out, turkeys out, bikes out. We're
haters.
no good. YouTube. They're mad at us. I gave turkeys out. My friend did 47 fucking years, was innocent.
Yeah.
What did I say wrong?
Nothing.
You could go on YouTube right now and watch a video of ISIS cut somebody's head off.
Yeah.
You could watch porn. You could watch somebody killing a dog. I'm on the fucking thing cursing. They tell me to fuck off.
I know.
They're fucked up.
Guys could go on any platform they want, talk about they murdered 3 people, 12 people, 16 people, stabbed, shot, baseball bat. You gave out turkeys. You got thrown off.
Listen, Sammy the book, fucking killed 17, 18. He killed a 16-year-old kid, talk.
Okay. He has some good listen, we're experts on Sammy Gravano. Okay? I know where he lives. I visited him. We know him. We researched him thoroughly. We realize everything he says there's so many lies. Like he's not divorced. We know he's not. He's never been divorced, but he claims he was divorced. Right. I mean, we know all about Alan Kaiser. We just did that video with Alan Kaiser's sister.
Yes.
So when we're talking about, I consider us somewhat of experts on Sammy Gravano. Would you say that, James?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, we've went through the court records. We've talked to people that know him. We've talked to people that have been affected by him. I mean, of all the people, I would say that we probably,
how many
personally as a person, but know who he is based on what he's done more than any of these guys on here.
So it's another thing of a person. Sammy Gravano. I don't know why. If Sammy said something recently about Joey Merlino, I never know. I haven't listened to Sammy for a while. Do you know if anything's going on there?
No, I mean there was something I think a month ago, but I can't recall what it was. But he said I know there was some sort of discussion or something that Sammy said, but I don't remember the details. But he definitely was a negative about him. I believe after Joey said, he didn't want anything to do with him.
He was defending Michael Francis, is what it was. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, Joey Merlino, if you watch this show, if you see this show, or Snuff, if you do, this is Sammy Gravano. You're right. Sammy says a lot of things on here and gets away with it.
I had that asshole Lee, the fuck is Cole, come and try to muscle me, the stupid motherfucker. He's lucky that it's now. Years ago, I wish he would have did that. Lee Cole would have got a good example of what the mafia really is. Bro, I would have invited him right into Tally's. Come on in, Lee. Come on in and sit down. And my guys would have just smiled and said, all right, Sammy, I'm going to get the bag. You all good. He ain't going out of Tally's no more. But that's the old days, and this is the new days.
Okay, so just so you know, we play that. So they're right. These guys have no remorse. They say horrible things. Sammy joked about I don't know. We don't even know if it's a joke that he threw his grandmother down the stairs and that was the urn behind him. I mean, people were laughing and saying it was a joke. But when it comes to Sammy, I don't take nothing as a joke when it comes to violence, James.
No, I mean he definitely someone that to this day, if he felt that he could get away with it, not go back to prison, I'm sure he would do it.
Okay, and I'm going to play something else. I'm going to play something else because I want you guys to understand if you think this is the difference. And listen, I'm not kissing Joey Merlino's ass. I disagree with Joey Merlino. I disagreed with him when what he said about Sonny, and I said it, right, James? I mean, I'm just putting out facts right now, James. That's all we're doing. We're not kissing no one's butt. We're saying, who the hell are you guys to say crap to him? You guys all got together and you got his show basically shadow banned. Okay, let's play this.
Former mob boss Joey Merlino back in federal court in Center City today. He headed into court just before 10 this morning. A judge is being asked to send Merlino back to prison for violating terms of his supervised release on racketeering charges. Our Dave Schreckweiser is live outside the courthouse tonight. Dave.
Ian, not exactly a homecoming for Joey Merlino, but it was classic Merlino today, holding court inside the courtroom before the hearing ever started, and again with camera crews and reporters as he left the courthouse for the day. One thing is very clear tonight. There is no love lost between Joey Merlino and federal authorities. For the first time in 14 years, former mob boss Joey Merlino returned to the federal courthouse here in the usual Joey Merlino style. After more than a decade in prison, he was asked how it felt to be back in Philadelphia.
Can't wait to go to the parade.
Skinny Joey returned to face out.
Does he look like he's scared of these guys that are talking crap about him?
No, not at all.
This is a man that did 10 years straight in prison.
Yeah.
And And the feds have been after him forever. I'll call him the Teflon Don of Philadelphia because they couldn't, as much as they tried to put this man away forever, they have not been able to, have they?
No, not at all. But he did his time. He did have 10 years in prison.
Yeah,
so, he did it.
He did some serious. 10 years is serious time.
Allegations he met in Florida with convicted felons and mobsters like Philly wise guy John Changlini, a violation of his supervised, peppered with questions.
Joe, are they picking on you at the end of supervised release here, do you think?
What do you think?
Well, I'm asking you.
You're smart.
The 52-year-old Merlino has been living in style in Florida, most recently with his wife and daughter. He's working and reportedly about to open a restaurant.
He has an offer of a job in a yet-to-be-opened restaurant, and that may happen in the coming weeks.
I don't think Mr. Merlino has actually worked a job in a very long time, if ever.
Federal prosecutors would not say if Merlino is still running the mob. They had this to say when asked if Merlino was still an active member of the mob.
That's the way we consider him, sure.
U.S. Attorney says you're still an active member of the mob.
Guy's mental.
The guy's mental. I just wanted you to hear that, James.
Yeah, the Schrackwiser, the reporter, someone I know that Joey doesn't like at all. They've had a lot of issues in the past, and you could hear, his response to a question that he had. So I thought that was interesting. But, South Philly's small, but, he didn't seem too worried, like you said.
I'm going to the parade, he said. Then he goes, the guy's mental. He said that about the prosecutor. I mean, he does come out with some good one-liners. But
they're after him. Look at, you remember the thing on Trump where they, said that he was given money or whatever, the campaign stuff. So, I mean, people like that are high profile, they're going to do what they can to try to find a way to, jam them up, to be honest.
Okay, I'm going to play something else real quick. I'm not going to do it, but I want you guys, Matt Cox, I hope you're watching this to understand that this guy is at a different level than you. That's what I'm trying to say. He's definitely at a different level than you. Matt Cox stole a lot of money. He lived a big fancy life. But Joey did 10 years, and it seems like he's still living a pretty good life.
Yeah,
he is.
Racketeering indictment along with 47 others.
3 weeks ago, mob boss Joey Merlino was cruising around the Jersey Shore in a $500,000 Rolls Royce. Thursday morning in Boca Raton, Florida, he was riding in the back of an FBI van headed to federal prison. Fox 29 cameras were there in Margate as Merlino enjoyed what could be his last days at the Jersey Shore for a long.
Now look at that guy. He's walking alone. He doesn't have a care in the world. He doesn't look like he's worried. And this is back when we know he was the boss. He doesn't care like he doesn't look like he has a worry in the world.
No.
Don't these guys get that? These guys that keep going after him, they're not going to win.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a response, James.
No, I said I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I think that...
I want a James response.
No, I mean, the thing is with these guys that, he comes out and, it's just strange to me how it seems like it's this concerted effort. You got different performance, and it just seems like that they're actually coming together to go after him. It's not just one or two; that it's all of them. It's just a little odd to me why they.
And he did his 10 years in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these guys, like Matt Cox, that were looking at 10 years in jail, they rolled over. They gave people away.
Right.
So we know this ain't going to get any better. This is going to continue. And the shame part is, and Gene, you made a statement that you drove Joey off of YouTube when you were on Matt Cox. That one I'm going to challenge you on, Gene. I'm going to say this. How did you drive him off? How? He left. It had nothing to do with what you were saying, Gene. all these people, he's going to continue saying whatever he wants about you or anybody else. His channel's still there. And if he keeps hitting people with shorts on his channel, that's more powerful than him doing a show. Because you can't counter against him when he just throws a short up there. He's over on Patreon.
Well, and that's the point, is that you're going to get more in and that's what people need to understand is with the shorts, it's basically a soundbite. You got 60 seconds there, and Joey, the ones that you played, there's more power in those shorts than his whole shows when you look at it. Because people aren't necessarily going to listen to the whole thing. They're going to be selective in their listening, but when you have the shorts, they're going to listen. But I think it's a good move, because that also, they got the Patreon, that's a paid platform. And so it seems like they're kind of doing the Mikey Scars strategy. You're going to still put a little content out on YouTube, and then it drives people to the Patreon.
Yeah. And you get to, when you do shorts and you attack people, those 1 minute spots, you could put what you want in that spot.
Yeah.
To hit somebody. And it's obvious what happened here. The man wasn't going to be able to monetize his channel. And he has people working for him that are Hollywood people. They want to make money. I don't think he really cares about making money off YouTube, because he's not going to make much off YouTube. But if he grows his Patreon, Mikey Scars has proved you could do quite well.
Yeah, and I wanted to make a point too. So we talk about shadow ban, and so what I think he's referring to is, and think about this is, and we go through this with YouTube as well. YouTube's very selective when, if there's profanity or if there's certain, activities within the video, they're going to demonetize that particular video. And I don't know if this is the case, but most likely because of his, the raw language that he uses. That
like today, like this video that we're making right now, there's a good chance it's not going to be monetized, because we use two things with Joey.
Exactly.
So that's just it. We'll put it up because
that's
we want
what's happening. He's not getting monetization for these videos, and he's doing once a week. But the thing is, with the shorts, if he's going to continue that, you're going to see big growth in the channel.
Yes, you will. Okay, please subscribe, hit the like, the reminder bell. Thank you, people. If you want to donate to the show, feel free. If you don't, no problem. Also, please join Angel Gotti, My Father's Daughter Patreon. The link will be below this. I will put the link to Joey Merlino's Patreon also, and several other things will be underneath there too. So if you can do that, we'd appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, just so you know, this is the skinny. The Patreon page for Joey Merlino is the skinny with Joey Merlino. Just so you know that. Okay, James, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Before we close up.
What's that?
You have anything to say before we leave?
Just no, I don't really, but it's going to be interesting to see. I think that the Patreon channel is going to do well for Joey. And his message will still be out there, and you'll just see shorts out there. So if they think they can attack him now with him supposedly, just on Patreon, that's not the case. He's still going to.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he's attacked, because in a way, I think he likes it, because he can come back at you twice as hard, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Cox. I mean, he compared you to a woman and a victim, if you know what I mean. I don't want to use that word. That's why I blurted out there. Okay. Well, people, take care. Have a nice one and enjoy your weekend. Bye.